to the Chapel Art Gallery. This is the third in a series of videos about art and spirituality, and if you saw the first two videos, then you would have some idea about what it is you might expect to see in this place, with the paintings and the boxes and the altars, the white altars with the boxes on top of them, and the candlesticks and the stained glass windows. And all of these things come together to contribute towards the churchified feeling in this space, which is very intentional. If you saw the second video, you'll also have some idea about the artists that have inspired me and contributed towards me putting together this art chapel gallery. Artists like Mark Rothko, Mark Chagall, Turner, Kandinsky, Barbara Hepworth. This video, in some way, is going to explore the links or emphasize the links between art and spirituality, yes, but also between sacred places and art galleries. I have a definition of art for you, which I found on a greetings card when I went into a small local supermarket. It's not what I expected to find, but what attracted me was this rainbow painting on the front by the artist Norman Adams, R.A. And this is what he has to say about the painting and also about art in general. He says, "Art has always been related to spirituality. I can't conceive of art without it." There's another quotation which I found, and this is from Mr. Anonymous. I found it on Google. There was no name attached to it. But what it says is this: art is the result of inspiration, and inspiration in itself has its basis in spirituality. Art has always been related to spirituality, and vice versa. Some years ago, I visited the Tate Modern and St. Paul's Cathedral in the same day. And there's a connection between the two buildings. They are connected by the Millennium Bridge, but there are other connections too, which I discovered. Whilst I was waiting to go into St. Paul's Cathedral, there was this notice in front of me, and it said, "This is an environment of beauty and excellence in worship, preaching, architecture, music, and art, all combining to inspire and uplift the hearts of men, women, and children." In the afternoon, I went to the Tate Modern, and there was an installation there by the artist Damien Hirst. It was called The Transience of Life, and it was about the artist's recollection of a visit to a chemist when he was a small boy. And he went in there and there were shelves with huge bottles in lots of different colours. It must have impressed him very much. Somewhere I picked up that this particular installation was about faith in pharmaceuticals, and also, the artist said, his faith in the ability of art to brighten up people's lives. Art is there to make lives brighter. Well, then it suddenly occurred to me, well, there's a connection between what was going on in the cathedral and what was going on in the art gallery. Basically, they were doing the same thing. Happifying human existence. There are a few galleries and churches across Europe which reinforced for me this connection between art and spirituality and between galleries and sacred places. One of them would be the Marc Chagall Museum in the south of France, in Nice. It's Marc Chagall's biblical message, and it's full of very, very large paintings, and they're all on Bible themes. Next to the gallery, there's a concert hall where all of the stained glass is produced by the artist Marc Chagall. And in the same part of the world, there's a Henri Matisse chapel with all of the paintings and the stained glass produced by the artist. And then there's another chapel which its theme is war and peace, and that was all of it painted by Pablo Picasso. If I lived in Paris, if I worked in Paris, there's one place that I would visit often, and it's a kind of a sanctuary. It is an art gallery, but it has a churchified feeling, and that would be the Orangerie, which houses Monet's huge paintings of the water lilies. And when I was there were two oval galleries, and on the walls were these wonderful large paintings by Monet of the water lilies in his garden. And you could sit right in the middle and you could absorb and take in the atmosphere and reflect and look at these wonderful paintings around you. And there was such an atmosphere there of peace and stillness and calm. In this country, there's a special place which is very close to where I used to work, and it's Tudley Church in the tiny village of Tudley in Kent, near to Tonbridge. Every single stained glass window in that church was designed by Marc Chagall. Stained glass in Liverpool's Roman Catholic Cathedral is, again, a place that I like to go and see. It's a place where the light inside that cathedral space is stunning, all produced by the stained glass in the lantern. Another place that I make a pilgrimage to often would be Coventry Cathedral. And as you approach it, there's a huge sculpture by Sir Jacob Epstein of the Archangel Gabriel and his victory of the devil. As you go into the cathedral on the right-hand side, there's a whole wall of stained glass by John Piper, and right at the very end, a huge tapestry by Graham Sutherland. There's work there by Elizabeth Frink and other English artists as well. And here's a connection for you. Coventry Cathedral was designed by the architect Sir Basil Spence, and he actually designed the building in South London where I used to work. The art and the cathedral. Art and spirituality. Sacred places. Chapels. When I was a student, I was very interested in the art movement Dada. Dadaism was very much a reaction to all that went on in the First World War, and the Dada movement actually started in the Cabaret Voltaire in Zurich. And there you had drama of a sort, you had music, you had poetry readings, you had booklets which were illustrated. You had many of the arts coming together in one place. I was fascinated by this. This was the total work of art. Later on, I got interested in opera, and I soon realized that, well, the theatre, the opera, that's very much a total work of art too, where all of the arts come together. You have the orchestra, the musicians with their talents and abilities. You have the singers on stage, the acting, the costumes, the lighting, the sets. And today you have the computer technology coming in as well. All of the arts coming together in one place. I have a definition for you. I have a word, actually. It's a German word, and my German isn't very good. I don't speak German at all, but this is the word Gesamtkunstwerk. I first came across this in connection with the Cabaret Voltaire and the Dadaists, and also with the theatre, with Wagner. Wagner used to use this word quite a lot. Gesamtkunstwerk. This is a definition from Wikipedia, and it says this. Gesamtkunstwerk, translated as total work of art, it is grand architecture, living sculpture, stained glass, light kinetics, paintings and sculpture, music and poetry, textiles and illustration, craft and design. So you see, the cathedral was the original total work of art. I have another art definition, which I want to finish with. This is from a gallery director based in Australia, I think, and the name is Gabriele Pizzi. I don't know if it's a gentleman or a lady, Gabriele Pizzi, but this is what he or she has to say. Art may be a painting, sculpture, photograph, symphony, dance, or any other creative endeavour that incorporates intellectual rigour, structural excellence, a strong element of beauty, and a core of spirituality, as well as the capacity to transport the audience to a higher level of being. So there you have it, St. Paul's Cathedral and the Tate Modern coming together with the same agenda, the capacity to transport the audience to a higher level of being, happifying existence. Okay, that's it. I'd like to leave you with a takeaway, which we'll look at in the next video, and this is it. It's another quotation from Sir Joshua Reynolds, and this is what it says. A room hung with pictures is a room hung with thoughts. Okay, bye for now. See you soon.